Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the It Factor, blessing the airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the Sbtv Nation.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Week 8 NFL. It is Sunday. It is the 29th of October. We're almost there to a new year. But we got to get this 2017 money still. And I'd like to introduce direct from LA, bright and early on the West Coast, my man, the primetime capper. Kid, what's up?
What's up, baby boy? Good morning to you.
How you doing, man?
7 a.m. in LA, man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. You already know I've only been up for 45 minutes, but it's all good. Sbtv made the call. They said they needed me, so I'm here.
All right, fantastic. Well, you know what? Hey, I did see in the Dodgers game that it is over 100 degrees out there. So how's it in Dodger land this beautiful morning?
I'm going to tell you right now, it's nice and cool. The sun's not out yet. Say hello. We got the clouds over us right now. It's still early, and so I'm feeling a good little breeze. So I'm gonna just enjoy this until the sun pops his head out, probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock, or maybe probably in the next 30, 45 minutes. I know the sun gets pretty unpredictable out here sometimes.
All right, guys. So you know what we're talking. Listen, we did mention the Dodgers a little bit. They did tie the series yesterday. It is 2-2, and now it's Keuchel versus Kershaw. And you know what? Kershaw's been pretty stellar in the World Series here, brother.
Yeah, hey, you know what? He's on right now, and I feel like his focus and his zen is right there. And honestly, a lot of Dodgers fans, they got a little, panicky when he caught the back injury. But myself, I said that might be, that might be a present because we might have needed him to just sit out 6 weeks real quick so he could be real fresh for the playoffs when we got here. And he's been stellar in the playoffs. I think he only had one little issue, but they still won the game, though. I think what was that, the Cubs game, right? And I just think that he's been stellar, and I think today he's going to be really, really, really tough. And the Dodgers seeing Dallas the second time around, I think they're really going to hammer on him today.
Got you, man. So you got the Dodgers winning the World Series?
Yes, I do. They would kick me out of LA if I didn't have the Dodgers winning the World Series right now. I don't do Homer stuff. I don't do any of that. But, the Dodgers was my first sporting event, so I got to roll with the Blue Crew.
All right, there you go, baby. All right, guys, we are the Sbtv Nation. We're live on Twitter right now at Sbtv Nation. And on our Twitter page as well, we put the link to our fantasy football contest. So you could join up right now. Click the link and join. Top 2 get paid, and we are ready to rumble there. There's 9 games in the NFL that we are adding to that. So I'm looking very much forward to having a little fun with the Sbtv Nation and that kind of stuff going on. So right now, guys, in the NFL, we got a game going on in London. It is the Vikings and the Browns, and we got the Browns up 6-3 over the Vikings, but it looks like the Vikings are going to start moving the ball a little bit prime time.
Yeah, I'm watching the game right now, and they're about to start getting busy. The Browns are playing some defense right now, but it's not going to matter in a minute because, honestly, the Vikings are going to start chewing up because sometimes the Vikings do start a little slow, and they are out there in the game right now. So, I don't know what they were doing last night, but, it seems like they'll probably be getting their thing going in about the second quarter and beyond.
Definitely, man. Well, you know what? When you take a look at this, and you and I talked about this before the show, the Browns were a double-digit underdog here. And, when you're playing in another country, sometimes some of these teams don't wake up. And there's some teams that have laid some serious eggs playing in other countries. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Maybe the Browns get their first win.
Right, because they're out of the country. They'll have crazy fans, bad about everything. So they'll be fine. And for like the first time all season, they're in a packed house. I just cannot believe in the city of Cleveland. I have a lot of family members out there that they're not showing up for football games. Man, I looked up at the top row; it was empty in the Titans game. So that's good for the Browns. They got a big crowd here today, so they might feed off of that as well too.
Absolutely. All right, man. So without further ado, I think we need to get right into the NFL because I'm looking at a bunch of games here, and I see a lot of interesting spreads that we need to have a conversation about, brother.
Yeah, definitely. What you got on the menu first?
All right, man. Right out the gate, 1 o'clock. We have two surprising records. We probably would have thought that these records would have been flip-flopped moving into Week 8 of the NFL. But you got the 3-4 Raiders versus the 4-2 Bills. Bills 3-0 at home, a 2.5-point favorite with an under/over of 46. Looks like we're gonna have some rain in the forecast over there, man. Have you circled this game?
Yeah, I did circle this game, and in this game it's tricky. And thanks for giving me the forecast, but I think that we're gonna still be able to get some points scored in this game today because I know Derek Carr and the Raiders are gonna have a pretty good game plan today offensively to go against the Bills because last year they scored a good amount of points on the Bills. I know the Bills have a better defense this year and everything, but the Bills had some leakage last week when they went against the Bucs, and the Raiders have the same type of offense that the Bucs have when it comes to the playmakers that they have. So I feel like the Raiders are going to score a little bit today, and the Raiders defense, as usual, that they're going to give up points. So I feel like it's going to be a back and forth game. It's hard to pick a winner here, so I'm going to go with the over 46 here in Buffalo.
Interesting. All right, well, you know what? You might be onto something here. I'm going to tell you why. Because, when I take a look at it, I mean, the Raiders, even though they did pick up beast mode, they have not run the ball successfully this year. I mean, they're only averaging 92.9 yards per game on the ground. You take that versus the Bills, one of the best rushing defenses in the NFL. I think Derek Carr has a big day. You may be onto something here. I don't see a lot of successful running, which is going to force some, third and longs. Force Derek Carr to throw the ball a little bit. You may be onto something, but for me, I'm going to fall back from this game. I just don't like it. I think the Raiders are a better team than a sub-500 team, brother. Right,
I agree. I totally agree. I just think that them starting on the road in September and then the two games that they played at home before beating the Chiefs, it just was a lot of pressure, and the Raiders just got to understand that they're good again, and they just got to get their bearings up underneath them. They're going to be a better November team. I can feel it.
Absolutely, man. All right.
I can feel it.
All right, so you like the over. I'm undecided on that game. I'm going to move over to the next game here. We got a double-digit favorite. A team that has only 2 wins on the year, guys, is a double-digit favorite, which I think is insane. You got the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 2-4, giving 10.5 points to the Indianapolis Colts, 2-5, who are 0-3 on the road. Under over 43 points in this game. Jacoby Brissett at the helm. What you got, brother?
Don't shoot the messenger. But we did talk about the Bengals Colts game on the show. And you know what? I like 2 spots here, honestly. Because I think this is the Bengals' homecoming game. Because after last week with the what happened to the Colts, man, I just think that the team is kind of flying off the rails a little bit right now. So Brissett is decent, and he manages well. But I just really think today that they're going to be out of their element, and I think that Cincinnati needs a game like this to get over. Because Cincinnati is a very inconsistent team, but they still have a lot of talent over there. Mm-hmm. So I do feel like that they'll be able to win this game by 2 touchdowns or better, because the way that they've played the Colts over the last few years, even when Luck was starting, they've had their way with the Colts, and I feel like that's why the spread is jumping to that today. But I feel like if you don't want to take the points, the over is a good shot here, because the Bengals are going to score points today, and I think that they'll give up maybe 10 or maybe 7 or 10 points, maybe 13 or so, but they're going to score points today. So I feel like that over is going to happen. And look it up. I think the Colts, majority, about 80% of the Colts games have went over this season. So I really do like the fact that we have an over 43 here because I know it's hittable. So if you don't want to pick a winner here, I would say go over 43. But if you want to go ahead and take the minus 10 because it did get bet down from 12 to 10. So if you want to, you can take that 10 because I do feel like the Bengals are going to win by 2 touchdowns or better.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm taking a look here at something that's pretty interesting. Now, the Indianapolis Colts, I mean, their defense has sucked forever. The only time that they actually had a somewhat decent defense was the year that they won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. That was the one year where they shocked the world, basically. This year, guys, they're giving up almost 32 points a game. Yikes. That is brutal, dude. Brutal.
Ooh.
So, you know, when you take a look at it here, you got a team total with the Cincinnati Bengals of 26.5. Might be something to take a look at. Maybe you get the Bengals up over that, you know, to score 27 or more. Might not be a bad look. What do you think?
Hey, I totally agree because you have to understand they smoked the Browns 31-7?
Yep.
And the Browns have a way better defense than the Colts. We're watching that right now against the Vikings. And I shouldn't say that because I know that the Colts had a good day on the Browns defense. But honestly, though, when you look at the two offenses, though, you know Cincinnati has a way better offense than Cleveland right now. So 30 is going to happen. That's how I feel today. It's going to be 30 or better for the Bengals. So that's a sharp bet right there. That's sharp money. So people better jump on that before it jumps to like say 140, 150, because I think that's going to get hit today.
Sure, man. Sure. Yeah. All right. Sounds good, dude. Well, you know what? That's probably going to be a very strong play for us. And we're looking at the Cincinnati Bengals to score a lot of points. So taking a look at the next game. We got this. This is kind of surprising to me. It is raining here in Connecticut. We are about an hour and a half away from Foxborough, Massachusetts, where the New England Patriots play. New England Patriots -7 versus the 3-4 Chargers. Under over of 48 in this particular game. For some reason, I mean, I could see the Patriots being dominant here. 7 points. I would think it'd be more than that, to be honest with you, but maybe I'm missing something. What's your thoughts here on 7 points in this game?
Okay, see, this is what caught my eye. The line started off at +8.5 on the Chargers. It got bet down. It's being bet down to 7.5. Last time I looked, it was a 7. I promise you, by the time we get the kickoff, it'll be at 6.5, so they can get the Patriots at the number that they want to get the Patriots at. So if you want the Chargers today, I would say take that +7.5 because they probably will lose by a touchdown today. Because you have to understand the Chargers are going to fight. I know that they don't look great on paper; they're a big joke and everything like that. But you have to understand the Chargers are almost right now on Hollywood script right now. With this against the world mentality, you know, the team with no home. And this team has won 3 games in a row. I know that the Patriots are the Patriots, but the Patriots have not been getting us our money on Sundays. So it's hard to take them in this spot, even though that they got them by a touchdown and everything like that. But this is the same team that was struggling against the Jets a few weeks back. So I really, really feel good about the Chargers in this spot. I know that they're going to fight. They're going to dig today. I know that everybody's looking at it. Well, the Patriots, they dominated the Falcons last week. Well, the thing is, though, the Falcons game was kind of like, okay, it was what I would call a reunion game from that Super Bowl. And all they were doing was playing the fourth quarter and beyond of that game because the Patriots were dominating that team in the fourth quarter and beyond. So all what happened was is Belichick figured out their playbook, and that's why they dominated the Falcons so well last Sunday. But that's not going to be the case today. They're going to have to actually play some ball against this tough Charger team that has no identity to anybody. But at the end of the day, these guys are going to scrap. They're going to fight, and they're going to try to get that victory. They may not win, but they're going to cover that spread. And that's how I feel like how we're going to go about it in this game today. And I love that +7.5 on the Chargers.
Well, I can tell you for all your fantasy players out there and, you know, anybody that wants to take some props on Phillip Rivers, you got to remember something here. The New England secondary is one of the worst in the league. They give up 323 yards through the air per game, bro. That's insanity. I mean, I know that they played the Falcons very well in the fog, and they shut Matt Ryan down. But, I mean, this team historically has had a really bad secondary. So might be something to take a look at. And another thing is that the Chargers can't run the ball. They can't at all. I mean, they average 79 yards on the ground per game. I'd expect Phillip Rivers to have a lot of attempts in this game, brother.
Yeah, and I think that's what the game plan is today as well, too. But it's going to be deceptive passing. And, when Phil gets deceptive, he's pretty good. As long as he's able to manage and he's not making mistakes, the Chargers are going to be right in this thing. I promise you that. They'll be right in this game. And I know what you're thinking. The Chargers do have some injuries right now that are pretty key going into this game on the defensive side. But I feel like the way that their team is working, it's the next man up situation over there for the Chargers right now. So I do feel real good about the plus 7.5. I know it's risky business going against the Pats and Bill B, but I just really feel it because this team is coming off of 3 wins in a row, and it seems like they're getting more confident by the week.
Sure.
The first 2 wins were some comeback miracle victories, but last week they just blasted Denver, and Denver got a hellified defense, and they can play a little bit of offense, but I shouldn't say that anymore because it seems like the offense has hit a rut over there in Denver right now.
Got it. Well, you know what? I was thinking about taking the Pats. I may moneyline the Pats and do a moneyline parlay with another team.
Right.
Or do a teaser, something like that.
Because I'm not telling you the Chargers are going to win. I just feel like they're going to keep it close, and and the Patriots are going to piss everybody off again when it comes to covering the spread.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, going to another very hot team here. You got the 4-2 Saints, who are minus 9 points versus the Chicago Bears, under over a 46.5. Dude, this Saint team has really turned their whole season around here. They're looking they're looking solid. Where you at with this game?
Oh yeah. Them is hey. Now, if like I tell everybody all the time, run back those Capcast episodes in the summertime when we were doing our NFL preview. I shocked everybody when I called out my NFC South champion. It was the New Orleans Saints. And at that time, I was living off the fact that AP was coming and he was finna mix it up with Breeze. And then you got Peyton as the coach. And so they're going to be really dynamic. But the AP situation didn't work out. Kamara steps in and is even better than what AP would have been for the Saints moving along because AP is already old and pretty much done. But it's a good fit for him over there in Arizona because that's the old man gang over there. So, how I feel here with the Saints, man, this is a good spot for them, but it's a dangerous spot for them because they can't overlook the Bears because the Bears have showed all of us that they're a really good team. But I really do like this Saints team a lot. I just can't take them on the spread today, but I do feel like they will win the game today, but it might not be by 10 or more points. But I do feel like they'll be able to control this game today as well too. And I say control this game to the point to where the Bears aren't going to be scoring that many points. I think that they're going to give Trubisky some issues today. I know Trubisky's looked really good the last few weeks, but now we got tape on you, and I think that the Saints are going to be able to, execute some things on the defensive side that are going to confuse the rookie today. But I really do like the under 47 and add the hook, so then you can go ahead and make sure that you get it if it hits 47, right on the nose.
All right.
But I do like the under 47.5 there.
Well, you could definitely consider the Saints one of the better teams in the NFC, that's for sure. And, when I take a look at what the Bears do on the road, at Tampa Bay, 20, with the exception of the Ravens game where it went to overtime. The Ravens, whatever, that's the most Jekyll and Hyde team in the NFL.
Right.
But when you go and you look at what they've done, at Green Bay, they lost by 21 points. At Tampa Bay, they lost by 22 points. I think this team gets beat by 10 or more. I like the Saints, and if I throw it in a teaser with the Patriots, I could probably get it down somewhere along the 3 area, and I think that's a safe play for me. I like the Saints. I think the Saints cover, though, to be honest with you, dude. That's probably where I'm going.
Hey, and you know what? I agree with you. I just love the under a little bit more because I feel it in both spots. You can take the Saints on the spread because I feel like that's going to hit as well too because they're at home. They always play to a different level in the Superdome. So I can see a 31-10 blowout here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can easily see that. I just want to keep it under 47 because I feel like the Bears aren't going to be scoring much today, and the Saints are going to be scoring a lot today. but I just feel like, okay, the Bears might hit us with a backdoor cover at the end of the night. You know what I mean?
Well,
So,
you know what? I mean, their passing game doesn't scare you at all, and they don't score points. They only score 17 points a game. Got the New Orleans Saints on the turf. I don't know. I just think it's far superior offensively versus their defense. I like the Saints to win big, and I think that's where I'm going to go today. All right?
Hey, I love it.
All right. So
Saints, keep rolling.
Yes, sir. All right. So the next game on the ticket we got is going to be, you got some rain coming, man, in MetLife Stadium today in New York, and you got the 3-4 Jets, who are a 6.5-point underdog, versus the 3-3 Falcons. Under over a 43.5. Can the Falcons kind of get their groove back here?
Well, once again, we talked about homecoming games earlier. I know the Jets been really good. They've been good. They've been better than expected.
Sure.
And advertised, right? But today, the bottom's going to fall out.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you like this. The Falcons are pissed. They are pissed off to the highest festivity right now. And those boys are going to go up in there. The defense is going to be accountable today. I promise you that. And the defense is going to try to make this their game of the year right now, because they're going to try to eat McCown alive. They know that they know they got Price sitting. They know they got something sitting. So I feel like this is a better spot for them. As you said, the rain is going to play a factor. So that means that the Falcons can kind of slow it down a little bit, eat up that clock, run some really good drives, and I feel like they're going to coast in this one, and they should win by 10 or more. Honestly, and that's why I'm taking them on the 6.5. I'm glad that, and I know that actually it got bet up from 4.5 to 6.5 since I did the show Tuesday, because I covered this game as well too. So I really do like the Falcons a lot here, because I feel like they pissed off, man. They're tired of this. You know what I mean? 3 straight weeks of just flat football.
Oh,
not today. Not gonna happen today. So I feel like they are gonna go ahead and win this game 10 or better.
All right. I mean, they
this one
start off with 3 straight wins and 3-0, and now we're 3-3, 3 losses in a row versus the Bills, Miami, and New England. So the AFC East has not been treating the Atlanta Falcons all that well, brother.
No, but the Jets got to be your cherry though. That's how I feel. The Jets got to be your cherry. You got to get one of them.
Right on.
They're not gonna sweep you. You got to get one of them. This is how it goes. This is why you got to love the AFC NFC matchups. They're not those ones are not guaranteed at all, because you never know. You never know. The AFC we know right now, the AFC East, all in all, may be a better division than the NFC South, but the thing at the end of the day is they're going to have to fight in the South as well too, because that's a tough division to figure out as well too, because you don't really know who's going to win that in the end. You know what I mean? Because the Bucs still have a chance, and and you really just don't know who's going to win that division in the end. But I like the Saints right now because they got the coach. They got the best coach in the division. So we'll see how it goes with that.
All right, guys. And like I said, on our Twitter page, we got our fantasy football contest, and we're already half full. So feel free to click on that and join, and let me take your money from you. All right.
Y'all better hurry up and get to it.
Yes, sir.
Take your money.
All right. So next game on the ticket here is a team that, I watched them on Monday night, and I was super impressed with the quarterback play. Carson Wentz has really established himself as a great quarterback here. You got the 6-1 Eagles, who are 3-0 at home, versus the 0-7 San Francisco 49ers. Philadelphia minus 11.5 with an under over a 44, and there may be rain in this forecast too. 11.5 points, bro. Can the Niners keep up with the Philadelphia Eagles?
Man, you said 11.5. We had 13 when the line started. I guess everybody think he tried to be sharp this week after all those weeks of these double-digit fucking. I'm sorry about my language, but all these double-digit spreads losing on the favorite. So that's good that everybody's feeling sharp. But see, that's when you got to kind of go the other way. I do like Philly a lot, because Philly seems like they just know how to just get teams off the field now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That was the problem last year. The first few weeks of the season, we saw it, and it was like, okay, they're looking good. Now they're channeling that first 2 weeks of the season when Wentz started into a full season, and it's fun to watch, because the thing that's keeping this team afloat and keeping them dominant is the defense. Wentz's job is easy. Just go out there and manage and get some points on the board. And he's going to do that, and he's leading so well. But I don't want to take them today on the spread because the Niners are tricky business, and we know this. The Niners, you don't know which Niner team you're going to get, and
right.
Shanahan always has something up his sleeve. But since you said Rain's going to play a part in this, I already had the under circled here. So I'm going to go ahead and take the under in this spot as well, too, because I do feel like we'll get a Philly blowout, but they might not score that many points, but they are going to limit the 49ers today. Because if the 49ers got the same rookie going last week that went against the Cowboys, forget about it.
Oh, definitely.
Seriously, forget about it. You know what I mean? Forget about it. And but I just don't trust myself with the plus 11 today because the Niners been able to cover that double-digit spread pretty much the whole season. But I just really feel like we're going to get the under here, especially since you said it's going to be rain.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Philly knows that they're the more dominant team, so they're not just going to blast at you right away. They're going to eat up clock and just execute plays and work out some brand new plays that they added into the playbook this week. So I do feel good about that. If you are gung-ho on taking the Eagles, I would say take them first half because the Niners are slow starters, and I know that the Eagles are going to be tearing them up in the first half. So the first half is a better bet than a full game if you're going to take the spread, to me, in my opinion.
Well, I know that I heard the other night that the Philadelphia Eagles are number one in ball control.
Right.
As far as that's concerned. And with Blunt, I mean, just tearing you up at the end of the game is it's very hard to compete with that. Number two, the rush defense is outstanding for the Eagles. 67 yards on the ground they allow per game, which is insane. I think they're going to force the Niners into a bunch of mistakes. I do not like betting on games that are in bad weather. It just kind of bothers me a little bit, but if you're going to do anything, you're probably onto something with the under, brother. So I don't know if I'm going to tail that or not, but I do understand and respect what you're saying there. So let's move on, guys. Let's move on to the Panthers at the Bucks. Tampa Bay minus 1.5, under over of 46. Panthers kind of sliding a little bit here. What's your thoughts, man?
Man, Panthers are doing what the Panthers do, man. When has Cam not had bad 4 games where we're like, oh, man, the Panthers, write them off. They're over with. They're done. And then all you got to do is just motivate Cam Newton. Somebody just has to do something to motivate him real quick.
Sure.
And watch him win. But you know what? Today, I just really feel like it's tough for them in the South this year. After playing against New Orleans a few weeks back, it's going to be an uphill climb for this team because everybody kind of knows exactly what the Panthers are bringing to the table when it comes to these divisional games. Honestly, the Panthers run about six plays that are just golden for them. And I think that a lot of teams have figured that out, and that's why they had such a bad game against the Bears last week. Mm-hmm. I just really like the Bucs here because they got to get it. They got to get one. They got blew away a few weeks back. Then last week they had a great comeback, but the defense couldn't save them at the end. Today they get over the top, and they're going to go ahead and win this game today because honestly, the Panthers are just going to keep sliding until we get to about mid-November. That's how I feel right now. And then when it's time to get to the playoffs, that's when Cam will turn it on, and he'll have a big upset somewhere in the middle of that and do Cam things. But at this point right now, I like the Bucs a lot more because they just are teething at the bit to just go ahead and win a game. Okay. You know what I mean? Because they got to get a game. And I was really high on the Bucs when the season started. I didn't pick them to win the division, but I did pick them to go to the playoffs. And I do feel like that this team is going to step it up today, and they'll be able to beat the Panthers today.
All right. Well, I'm looking at the last couple of games here where Tampa Bay has been victorious in the last 2.
Mm-hmm.
Both games were very low scoring, very slow moving. Tampa Bay 17-16, Tampa Bay 17-14. Both games went under, and actually the under in this series, 5 out of the last 7 have gone under between these two teams. They know each other awfully well. You might see a little bit of a field position game here. The Carolina doesn't dazzle you at all offensively, and their defense is pretty damn good. I see 46.5. I think that's a pretty high number. I'm going to have to go under here, bro.
Hey, that's sharp right there because when you look at the numbers, you feel like it is going to be one of those type of games where it's going to be more of a bare knuckle brawl between the trenches, between the linemen. So, and at the end of the day, I do think it's going to come down to whoever has the ball last. Mm-hmm. And most times in games like that, we're playing on an under when whoever has the ball last. So, and you're right, 46.5 is a strong number. And I know what they're factoring in is the fact that Tampa Bay can score points, and that when the Panthers do feel like it, they can score points as well too. And they're kind of throwing a little shade at that Tampa Bay defense that is a little overrated at this point. I thought they were really, really good, but they've proven over the last few weeks that they do have some leakage, and they do need to fix some things over there on that side of the ball. All
right, sounds good, man. Well, that does it for 1 o'clock.
Right.
And that's going to bring us to 4 o'clock. And we got a very interesting game here. And there's a side that I really like here. And I hate this team. I absolutely hate this team. But you got the Houston Texans with Deshaun Watson at the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks 4-2, 2-0 at home versus the 3-3 Texans. Seattle minus 6.5, under over a 45.5. For some reason, I think the Seattle Seahawks stomp the Texans today. I really do. I think you can get 12th man. I think Watson's going to get a little rattled. And I think the Seahawks come to shine. What's your thoughts here?
You know what? I like the Texans at first, but you know what? I don't usually flip picks, but I got to agree with you, dude. Because I had to come up with it last night because I started mulling it. At first, I said Texas, and then I told myself when I started looking at more stuff going on in the news with them this week, I'm not going to talk about that because I don't talk politics and sports. But that's a big distraction,
sure,
and that's a big problem right there. And I don't think that your team's mind is going to be there because they're almost like not wanting to play for the owner right now. I'm wondering if all 53 are going to show up today.
Yeah.
So when you have a situation going like this team is totally not thinking about football. I think Seattle is just going to bring them back to reality today and let them understand that this is what you're getting paid for, bro.
Yep.
So, get on out here on the field, get to playing, and worry about that stuff when it's off season. So honestly, the 12th man is going to give Deshaun problems, and you're so right. These guys go against a running quarterback every day at practice. So this is lunchtime to them, because they can't hit Russell, but they're sure going to hit Deshaun today. So I think he's going to learn a lesson today in the NFL. He's been shining. He's been looking really good as of late. But just like with the Trubisky situation in New Orleans, I just think that they're about to get the reality. It's going to be another reality check. So you're on to something with that one. So I do got to go ahead and agree with you on that one. Seahawks all day. They shouldn't be a problem, especially with the dropping to 6.5 right now. So they're giving you the touchdown. So Seahawks, eat it up. Eat it up.
All right, sounds good. I mean, the Seahawks only give up 15.7 points per game, and they're very good at home. I mean, if they're on the road, it'd be a different story. But, being at home here, versus a young quarterback, I think they've got a clear advantage here. I'm on the Seahawks today, and I hate that, guys. I absolutely can't stand this team. But you know what? I just think they're the better team, and I think they're going to get the job done here. So a couple more games on the ticket. We've got, NFC East here. Cowboys versus the Redskins. Cowboys on the road is a 2.5-point favorite, under over a 46. Looks like we don't have any weather to worry about here. What's your thoughts on the Redskins and Cowboys? Tough loss for the Redskins last week.
Oh man, that hurt. That hurt my.
Sure.
Yeah, and I had them on call get shot, but you know what? I had the Wizards that night too, so they made up for that because they beat the Nuggets. So, where I'm going here is I'm not going to pick a winner here because this is a tough one because Washington is actually my favorite in the NFC East. I know right now they're in second place, but I still feel like this team is going to be in the thick of things when it comes to December, even though they've lost the tiebreaker matchup with Philly being swept. But I think at the end of the day, this is going to be a matchup that comes down to, once again, the last possession. It's going to be really, really, a really, really good game. But I'm going to go on the other side of this when I say, last possessions and stuff. I said under earlier, but with this game, I'm going to go with the over. I see this as the easiest over of the day because both teams are going to score today.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys' offense has been a machine the last few weeks, and everybody has to understand Gruden's always going to dial it up, and Gruden loves dialing it up against the Cowboys. He has plays in the playbook that the Cowboys have not seen on tape yet, so that's why I feel like today. This is that over 46.5. Give it to me. You got to take it. Well, that's going to be good money for you today because the game's getting played in DC as well, and those games get crazy in DC, and we know that.
Absolutely, man. And when you take a look at the last 3 meetings head to head, 31-26, 27-23, 34-23. A lot of points getting scored between these two teams. So
there you go.
Yeah.
And both teams, and if we say who has the better defense, we would say the Redskins, but they both give up points. Regardless, though, they play great, aggressive, physical defense, but they don't cover well, either team. And especially with Norman out on the Redskins side, that's why there were certain plays that happened that looked like broken plays on Monday Night Football because you didn't have Norman there, putting guys in the places that they need to be at. So, I really do like the over here. I think the over is going to easily hit here, man. Honestly, I really do. So over 46.5 for me, boss.
I'm really just surprised that the Redskins don't utilize Pryor more. I just, I watched it on Monday night, and I'm just like, this guy was non-existent until like the fourth quarter. He had his first catch. It's just unbelievable, man. So, you know what? I think they need to dial him in just a little bit more. I know he drops bad balls at times, but you need another avenue there for Kirk kissing Cousins. So, you know what? I'm staying far away from this game. I don't like it one bit, dude. So
I'll blame you because as I always tell people, as I said on the Capcast Lives over the last few weeks, tread lightly when you deal with these divisional games.
Of course.
The divisional games go wherever they want to go. Honestly, it don't matter if you're the last place team in the division. You have their playbook.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
You
right
have
on.
their playbook. It's that simple. And that's why I was be like, why you guys always get mad at the Patriots saying that they cheated? Everybody if you in their division, you got their playbook. It doesn't matter what team it is.
I agree.
You just mad because this is the team that's winning.
You see them 2 to 3 times a year, depending on if you see each other in the playoffs or not. And
Right.
you go back. So I mean, in the last 5 years, you played them 10 times. Think about it, minimum. Think about that for a minute.
And if you have the same coach, come on. Yep. It turns into a college football game almost.
Sure. All right. Last game on the ticket we have is Sunday Night Football. And we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Detroit Lions. You got a home team underdog on prime time here. You got the Detroit Lions +3 with an under over of 46. Wow, man. People that have been listening to our show for several years know that I love prime time underdogs. Dude, you've seen them time and time again come out, especially in college football, man. It's just been hitting like nonstop. And I'm talking like big underdogs have been winning on the field.
I agree.
Not so much in the NFL. I mean, it's been kind of up and down, kind of 500 this year. But for some reason, something's telling me to jump on the Lions here plus the points. Where are you at with this?
I talked about this was a game I talked about Tuesday as well. I love the Lions today.
Yeah.
Love them. I think the Lions are probably, and I was so happy that they were going to be the underdog in this game, and now you're telling me that they're getting 3.5, so that means that we're going to get plus 150 on the money line today, at least. So I really do like them a lot. I feel like that they're going to play up to this because they always play up to the Steelers because they haven't been in the same conference for a very long time, but back in the day, Detroit and Pittsburgh were somewhat rivals, and that rivalry still kind of lingers a little bit between the fan bases, older fan bases. You have to look at it a little bit closely. These teams used to play each other a lot back in the day. So this is a reunion, and the Lions always play up to the Steelers. They always do it because they know who the Steelers are. So I feel like Stafford's going to get us home. It's going to be one of those clutch type games, but Stafford's going to get us home today because he's going to annihilate that secondary, the Steelers, the hidden gang, because those guys are so overrated to me because they hit very well, but they don't cover well at all, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because it's all about scheme with the Steelers. You know what I mean? And I just feel like today the Lions are going to get the better of them because it's like you just said, it's a primetime game.
Mm-hmm.
They're on Sunday Night Football. The game is in Detroit, and they ain't got nothing to lose. So, pretty much, and they know they need this game. And I just really do feel like they'll be able to go ahead and beat the Steelers today because, come on, if we can get the Jaguars to go in there and beat them 30-9, and the Jaguars are pretty much the most inconsistent team in the league, I think that the Lions have a really good shot today because they got the same – their defense isn't as good as the Jaguars, but it's the same type of defense. You know what I mean? Where they're not giving up a lot of points and they're keeping things right in front of them. And then they got guys that are able to be in the quarterback's face all day. And that gives Roethlisberger problems every single time when he got linemen in his face the whole game. So I really do like Detroit here. So I'm going to go ahead and forget the points. We're just going to take the Lions on the money line.
And you got the Lions coming off a bye week who've been watching the Pittsburgh Steelers for 2 weeks now.
Yes.
Watching film, watching the games, doing their thing. So you know what? I'm with you on that. I think we take a shot at the Detroit Lions to win the game. I'm going to get the plus 3.5, and I'm going to back it up with a money line. I like them. I think and I've always been a great fan of Stafford. I mean, the guy has 12 touchdowns versus 4 interceptions. He only completes about 60% of his passes, but that's not horrible. He's not throwing a lot of picks, and I think that they'll catch Pittsburgh Steelers on their heels a little bit defensively. I think the Lions are going to get the job done, bro. So I'm with you on that. All right?
I totally agree. I'm glad you are.
All right. Sounds good, man. So you and I are on the same page on a lot of this stuff here. There's only 9 games that we went over here. Was there 9 or 10? I'm not sure here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9. Just on a quick note, guys, we had talked about it, and, if Jay Cutler was at the helm for the Dolphins, I would have been in Aruba right now celebrating because I would have laid everything on the Ravens. Matt Moore starting. I didn't play the game because I like Matt Moore, but dude, the Ravens murder the Dolphins every single time they play each other, bro.
Yeah, and I know y'all can get me because I sat up there on Thursday night, right before we get there. Dolphins 3.5. Call your shot. And then they go out and lose 40-0. So, it was all because, I like Matt Moore, and I'm going to be dead honest with you. The Ravens been money burners all season. So I said, you're going to have to beat me. I felt like dude from that scene from the Chappelle show when the World of Dice, you're going to have to take this role from me. They went ahead and shot my kneecap off and took that role from me.
Yeah, right on. Exactly. You know what? I wish you hit me up on that because I would have told you to stay far away from that, dude. I'm a Dolphins fan, and I'm a pretty good gauge. I can gauge them pretty damn well, and there's just no way I was going to take them versus the Ravens.
I'm mad at myself because I like the over. I like the over a lot, but I said I might be, this game might wind up being 10-10, but I did like the over a lot because I felt like it was going to be some points scored. That's what people have to always understand. When you get a 37 on a Thursday night, you should always be looking to play the over. I know that they're telling you lean under, but dude, these guys are coming off of 3 days of rest. The defense is you gotta factor in what type of game the defense played in, and that's where I messed up at too because I thought about it 5 plays in. I was like, dude, the Dolphins just played a game where they really had to fight, so that means defense had to be out there long and hidden and getting hit, so they're physically already kind of beat up as we get to the game. So it's like, damn, you know what I mean? So when you look at them get beat 40-0, you can pretty much tell that they left their game on the field against the Jets, man. The defense needed a break.
Sure. Right on. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for us. We went through every single game here. There are some spots here, but what we're going to do right now is we're going to recap everything. We'll start with where we're feeling, and we'll throw some leans at you. And my man, Primetime Capper, thank you very much for joining me, man. I appreciate that on such short notice. Calling in bright and early from the West Coast.
Oh, you got it, man. What do you guys call upon? Here, not a problem at all. It's my absolute pleasure to go ahead and assist you guys with the Sbtv Nation today. I want to send a big shout out to all my clients, all my followers as well. You guys go ahead and check me out on primetimecapper.com. You guys can also follow me at PopDBIC as well. And to follow my show, Capcast, you guys can either check when we do a Capcast live, I will announce that. That's on Periscope TV. But to listen to the actual show, that's recorded every Tuesday night, go to soundcloud.com/Capcast. And we'll be recording episode 88 this week as well, too.
Okay, man. So talk to me about where you are as far as your plays of the day.
Where I'm at for my plays of the day, I'm over here. I'm still putting together things for my clients right now. But you know what I really like, and I know this isn't the NFL, but you know I'm a hoops guy. That's my specialty. So I'm gonna show you guys some love today, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give you a nice one. It's gonna be the over 221 in the Brooklyn game.
Okay.
I feel like we get that easy today because Denver needs to score some points, and this is the type of game where they're going to score some points because last time they played each other, it was 129 to 109. And Brooklyn's going to be really, really aggressive today because they feel like they have something there for the time being until we get to about December, and then you get on that road trip. But for now, they think they have something. So expect that game to go over 221. It's a big number, but you're going to get it, though.
Got it. All right, brother. So talk to me. Talk to me about the NFL.
All right. So, okay, in the NFL, this is we already talked about it a moment ago, but I just still can't get off this. I just really feel good about the Falcons today. And I know I might be mushing them right now by just even talking about them this tough, but I just really feel good about them today, man, because I think that the Jets, a lot of people are going to be real confident in the Jets, like, oh, they've been playing so good. And I've seen this scenario so many times with teams that are really good, that have struggled for a few weeks, and then they get a team that's been, playing some pretty good, decent football, and then they just annihilate them. And I just think that that's going to happen in this game today because I think Matt Ryan has to get back. I think he knows he has to win because right now it's getting to the point to where you're in a situation where you're not even the top team in your division anymore. So it's a must-win situation for the Falcons today. And when they're in a must-win situation and the focus is there, I just really think that they'll be able to win by 10 or more points. And that's how I feel with the Falcons, man. So, and another thing is, if you want to take them for the first half as well, too, I wouldn't hesitate. Go ahead and do it. Because I think that you're going to get 4 there, and they should be up a touchdown when you get to the half.
All right.
So that's how I feel there. But I don't know how people feel about the over and under in that spot, though. I think that maybe because I want to, so I would say under. But you could probably get the over there as well, too, though. Okay. Because the Jets have showed that they can score. They can score some points. They scored 28 last week, so they're all right. They're all right when it comes to, the Jets are weird, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Aren't they? And I told people the other day, I said that you have to understand Luke McCown has played pretty much for like 20 out of the 32 teams in the NFL. So if this guy keeps getting a job in the NFL, that means he's decent. He's somewhat good. And I call him now, remember Steve DeBerg?
Oh, yeah.
I said, that's who McCown is. I said, he's Steve DeBerg. When you need a quarterback to start for you, just wake up in the morning and, hey, can you start the game for me Sunday? You call up Luke McCown, just like you used to call up Steve DeBerg.
Right on. Exactly.
So with a veteran like that, it always gives you he's a fighter. So that's what you kind of seeing with the Jets. And it makes you kind of like the Jets a little bit. You know what I mean? This season. And it's funny where the skeptics were so wrong that the Jets were going to go 0-16 this season. Not even close. Not even close.
Right on. All right. Sounds good, man. Well, here's where I'm at. It's a top-heavy favorite day for me, but I'm going to cap it off with an underdog at the end. So what I'm going to do is for the early money, I'm going to go Saints, Bengals, Patriots. A moneyline parlay pays almost even money there. It's like minus 109. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 4-teamer on top of that. Saints, Bengals, Patriots, Lions, money line. And that pays plus 371. That's where I'm at, brother.
That's where you at?
Yes.
Look, this is what I'm thinking about today is I'm thinking about going ahead and taking a Bucks money line I'm gonna do my math right now too. A Bucks money line. Add that Chargers plus 7.5 into the mix, and then also throw this 6.5 on the Falcons in there as well, and then also throw that over 47.5. How many is that? 5?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you an NFL. I have what we call an NBA super high five or CBB super high five. Today I'm gonna give you an NFL super high five. It's gonna be that right there. So plus 7.5 on the Chargers, Bucks money line, 6.5 on the Falcons. We're gonna take the over in the Cowboys game, and then we're gonna take the Lions as well.
All right. Sounds good, man.
All right. Let me get the math. You got the math for me real quick on that?
I could do it right now. Just give me 1 second. I gotta erase what I got going on here.
Let me get over under it real quick. It'll be 28 should be the number.
Yeah. There you go.
28 should be the number. Over under of 28 the number. I've been playing this bet for so long I should know the exact number it's gonna be. And so it's gonna be over under 28.
There you go.
Let me did I get it right?
There. Let me just give it to me one more time.
Okay, this is how we're doing it. We're gonna do plus 7.5 on the Chargers.
All right, let me find that real quick. Chargers, I got plus 7 here, so that's good enough. Okay, what else you got?
Okay, just take the plus 7.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna go ahead and put the Falcons there.
Falcons minus the 6.5.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Then we're gonna put the Bucks in there.
Then we're gonna put the Bucks in there. Okay.
And then we're gonna go ahead and take the over 47 on the boys and the Skins. And then we're going to do the Lions money line.
Lions money line.
I promise you the number will be at 28. 28 to 1, I promise you.
You got 32 to 1.
30C, over under 30C. So there you guys go, 32 to 1.
Yeah.
A $10 bet gets you $320 right there.
There you go, brother. Sounds good.
There you go. 32 to 1 for you right there. See, I know that a lot of guys, you want to give it. I give out those type of parlays as well too, but I like to give out these type of parlays because I've hit these multiple times, and I know that these have bailed me out plenty of nights and plenty of times. So if you want to play it, man, give it a shot, baby. You might hit that 32 to 1 today.
Perfect. All right, man. Well, you know what? Thank you very much for joining us. Everybody, Primetime Capper, and everybody in the SBTV Nation. Guys, we love you to death. Go out there. Go easy. But we'll do whatever it is you got to do whatever it is you want to do and get that money. Let's go.
Yes, sir.